Anya Taylor-Joy takes over the role of Furiosa in the 2024 Mad Max franchise prequel movie, and it changes a key backstory element established by Charlize Theron years prior. Theron originally played the role in the iconic Mad Max, Fury Road, which is commonly considered to be one of the best action movies of all time, 9 years before the prequel film expanded on her upbringing. Furiosa's past was always a prevalent aspect of her character, but the recent spin-off allowed audiences to fully grasp the severity of what she'd experienced. Much of Furiosa's tragic backstory is consistent between Fury Road and the 2024 prequel. She was born in the green place of many mothers, was horrifically uprooted from this paradise-like society among the wasteland, and wound up being an imperator in Immortan Joe's army at the Citadel. These main bullet points are further enforced by Furiosa, but there are some aspects that were fleshed out outside the film that result in inconsistencies between the two. Fury Road is commonly considered the best of the Mad Max franchise, and it's interesting to see how the prequel deviates. Fury Road prequel ignores Charlize Theron's explanation for Furiosa not being a breeder. Furiosa's origin story omits Charlize Theron's previous statement. Furiosa, Charlize Theron, next to the war rig in Mad Max, Fury Road and Furiosa, Anya Taylor-Joy, looking mad in Furiosa, a Mad Max saga custom image by Sean Morrison. The plot of Mad Max, Fury Road sees Furiosa betraying Immortan Joe in the hopes of freeing his breeder wives and bringing them to the green place. This raises curiosity about why Furiosa herself isn't a breeder, as it doesn't seem likely that Joe would spare a woman to drive trucks for him if he didn't have to. On the matter, Charlize Theron herself provided some clarification in an interview with EW in 2015. She explains that Furiosa couldn't breed, and that was all that she was good for. This ties up the question simply. Furiosa isn't a breeder because she can't have children. While Charlize Theron's words can't be treated as canon, it seems like something she would have discussed with George Miller when crafting their character, yet it weirdly ends up having nothing to do with Furiosa. The prequel sees Anya Taylor-Joy's iteration of the character finding her way in the Citadel, and the question of her fertility is never brought up. This could happen between movies, but it doesn't really seem important after Furiosa's events. Charlize Theron's explanation for Furiosa not being a breeder doesn't line up with Furiosa. Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa finds her own way in the Citadel. In Furiosa, the prequel version of the character never comes close to becoming one of Immortan Joe's breeders. In fact, she fears the possibility of this occurring and disguises herself as a man. This becomes a point of suspense throughout the film, as she doesn't speak to anyone at the Citadel until she becomes close with Praetorian Jack. It's crucial to her backstory in the movie, as through his training, she becomes a highly competent road warrior, and her skills eventually become invaluable to Immortan Joe in his war against Dementus. So, it's possible that at some point in between films, Immortan Joe fully realized Furiosa was a woman and that she might have another use, and that they could have come to the realization of her being infertile then. However, this just doesn't seem as likely after the movie, and it seemed like Miller had second thoughts about that creative choice he discussed with Charlize Theron. In Furiosa, she earns her position as Imperator and Immortan Joe never seems to take any specific issue with her being a woman.